The moment Markus Günthardt, the tournament director of the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix in Stuttgart, heard that Eala was coming to Germany, he didn't just send a standard confirmation email, he rolled out the red carpet. The 20-year-old Filipina, ranked number 46 in the world, had initially been slated to fight through the qualifiers just to earn a spot in the main draw, but then fate intervened. World number 37 Qinwen Zheng withdrew due to injury, and suddenly, Eala was promoted to the main draw. And when Günthardt got the news, his reaction stunned the tennis world. He personally welcomed Eala with open arms, praising her fighting spirit and confirming her place among the sport's elite. For a player who had just suffered a heartbreaking loss to Jelena Ostapenko after leading 5-1 in the final set, this was the ultimate vote of confidence. The Stuttgart Open was ready for her, and Eala was ready for Stuttgart.
That is just quality. Good performance from the Romanian. That is just quality.
And then once Ostapenko was out there.
Just days ago, Eala was preparing for a grueling qualifying campaign at the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix in Stuttgart. The tournament, one of the most prestigious WTA 500 events on the calendar, had attracted an incredibly deep field, 10 of the current top 14 players in the world. With stars like world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka, number 2 Elena Rybakina, number 3 Coco Gauff, and number 4 Iga Swiatek all competing, the main draw spots were scarce. Eala, ranked number 46, was listed as a qualifier. The odds were stacked against her. She would have to win multiple matches just to earn a spot in the main draw, expending precious energy before even facing the tournament's elite. Then came the news that changed everything. World number 37 Qinwen Zheng, the 2024 Paris Olympic gold medalist and a semifinalist in Rome last year, withdrew from the tournament due to a persistent right elbow injury. Zheng had been struggling with the injury since July 2025, and her recovery had been slower than anticipated. As the top-ranked player on the main draw alternate list, Eala was the natural replacement. The Stuttgart Open made it official on social media. Eala replaces Zheng in the main draw. Unfortunately, Zheng has to withdraw due to injury, but fans can now look forward to seeing Alexandra step in. We wish Zheng a speedy recovery and hope to see her back on the court in Stuttgart very soon. For Eala, the promotion was a game-changer. She would enter the main draw directly, bypassing the qualifiers entirely. She would have more time to rest, more time to prepare, and a guaranteed spot among the sport's biggest names. It's a significant shift, one tennis analyst noted. Eala now has a direct path to face top-tier opposition without the extra matches. This could be the break she needs to build momentum on clay. When Markus Günthardt, the tournament director of the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix, learned that Eala would be joining the main draw, he didn't just send a standard confirmation, he made a point to welcome her personally. Günthardt, a former professional tennis player himself and the son of legendary player and administrator Rolf Günthardt, has been at the helm of the Stuttgart Open for years. He has seen champions come and go. But something about Eala's journey caught his attention. In a statement that quickly circulated through tennis media, Günthardt expressed his excitement about having the Filipina sensation in the draw. He praised her fighting spirit, her resilience, and her rapid rise through the rankings. He made it clear that Stuttgart was ready to embrace her. The gesture was more than just good PR. It was a signal that the tennis establishment was taking Eala seriously, not just as a rising star, but as a legitimate contender. For Eala, who had just suffered a heartbreaking loss to Jelena Ostapenko at the Linz Open, a match where she led 5-1 in the final set before collapsing, The welcome was a much-needed boost. It reminded her that her journey was far from over, that the tennis world was watching, that she belonged on the biggest stages. After a tough loss like that, it's easy to doubt yourself, one commentator noted. But when a tournament director personally welcomes you to his event, it sends a message: we believe in you, we want you here, you belong. To understand the significance of Eala's Stuttgart promotion, you have to understand what happened just days earlier at the Linz Open. Eala entered her round of 16 clash against fourth-seeded Jelena Ostapenko with history on her side. She had beaten the 2017 French Open champion twice before, at the 2025 Miami Open and at Eastbourne. The head-to-head record stood at 2-0 in Eala's favor. The match started well. Eala built a 4-2 lead in the first set, her defensive game frustrating the big-hitting Latvian. But Ostapenko fought back, taking the first set 6-4. The second set was even more promising. Eala raced to a 4-0 lead, then extended it to 5-1. She was just one game away from forcing a deciding set. The Filipino fans who had packed the design center Linz erupted. Victory was within reach. Then the unthinkable happened. Ostapenko, showing the resilience that had defined her championship career, broke Eala's serve. She won 6 straight games, completing a stunning 7-5 comeback to take the match 6-4, 7-5. The loss was devastating. Eala had come so close. She had played her game, executed her strategy, and for 80% of the match, she had been the better player. But tennis is cruel, and on this night, the comeback belonged to Ostapenko. "I think I kept the intensity well throughout the match," Eala had said after her first-round win over Julia Grabher. Against Ostapenko, the intensity was there, but the execution in critical moments was not. The loss marked Ostapenko's first win over Eala in 3 meetings. It also meant that Eala would leave Linz with another round of 16 exit, her 3rd consecutive tournament ending at that stage, following Indian Wells and Miami. But the silver lining came quickly. Just hours after the loss, the news broke. Eala was in the Stuttgart main draw. If Eala wanted to prove that she belonged among the elite, Stuttgart was the perfect place to do it. The field was stacked. 7 of the current top 10 players were competing in Stuttgart. The list included world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka, number 2 Jelena Rybakina, number 3 Coco Gauff, number 4 Iga Swiatek, number 7 Elina Svitolina, number 8 Jasmine Paolini, number 10 Mira Andreeva. Also in the draw were number 11 Karolina Muchova, number 13 Ekaterina Alexandrova, number 14 Linda Noskova, number 17 Clara Tauson, number 19 Diana Schneider, number 20 Elise Mertens, number 21 Lyudmila Samsonova, and the defending champion, number 23 Jelena Ostapenko. In contrast, the Linz Open had featured no top 10 players, with number 13 Alexandrova as the top seed. Stuttgart was a different beast entirely. But Eala had faced top competition before. She had beaten Swiatek at the 2025 Miami Open. She had pushed Gauff to the limit. She had taken sets off Sabalenka in practice sessions at the Rafa Nadal Academy. The challenge was daunting, but not impossible. She has to go through the qualifiers, one analyst had noted before Zheng's withdrawal. Stuttgart's field is more loaded and dense compared to Linz, despite both tournaments sporting the same 28-player draw. But with her direct entry secured, Eala could focus entirely on preparing for the main draw. No qualifying matches, no extra fatigue, just a straight shot at the sport's biggest names. Ilana's clay season preparation had been meticulous. In the weeks leading up to Linz and Stuttgart, she had intensified her training at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain. The academy, founded by the 22-time Grand Slam champion, has been Ilana's home away from home for years. She arrived at the academy at just 12 years old, a wide-eyed girl from the Philippines with a dream and a racket. She trained there for 7 years, absorbing not just tennis technique, but the philosophy, the work ethic, the relentless discipline that had made Nadal a legend. The clay courts of Mallorca are where Jelena learned to slide, to construct points, to grind out victories when her power wasn't enough. The surface had not been kind to her in the past. She posted a 2-4 record on clay in 2025, with her best showing a round of 16 finish at the Linz Open. But she was determined to rewrite that narrative. In Instagram stories posted by the Rafa Nadal Academy, Jelena was recorded practicing her forehand and backhand swings at the tennis center. The footage showed a player in peak physical condition, her strokes crisp, her movement fluid. She reposted the stories on her own Instagram page, a subtle message to her fans. She was ready. The clay season stretches before her. Linz, Stuttgart, Madrid, Rome, and finally Roland Garros. The challenges will only get harder. But after her performance in Linz, and with the Stuttgart promotion, Jelena has reason to be confident. "I think I kept the intensity well throughout the match," she had said after her win over Braber. That intensity will be tested in Stuttgart.
The Stuttgart Open is just the beginning of Eala's clay campaign. After Germany, she will compete in the Mutua Madrid Open, April 21 to May 3, a WTA 1000 event where she has already secured a direct main draw entry. With a 96-player draw and Eala ranked number 45, she gained an automatic main draw entry to the tournament. Whether she is seeded or not depends on whether she makes the top 32 in the rankings in the seeding cutoff on April 20. Eala is also expected to join the Italian Open, May 6 to 18, another WTA 1000 event, and the Parma Ladies Open, May 12 to 18, a WTA 125 tournament. She will then wrap up her main spring clay season at the French Open, Roland Garros, from May 24 to June 7. It was at Roland Garros that she had lost in the first round last year. She would be determined to go further. The rankings implications are significant. Eala currently sits at number 46 after dropping from a career-high number 29 following the Miami Open. A strong performance in Stuttgart could push her back toward the top 40. A deep run in Madrid could accelerate her climb even further. But for now, her focus is on Stuttgart. The tournament director has welcomed her. The draw has been confirmed, and Eala, the 20-year-old Filipina who has captured the hearts of millions, is ready to make her mark on clay.
Eala received a grand welcome from Stuttgart Open tournament director Markus Günthardt after securing a direct main draw entry to the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix. The 20-year-old Filipina, initially slated to compete in the qualifiers, was promoted following the withdrawal of world number 37 Qinwen Zheng due to injury. The promotion comes just days after Eala suffered a heartbreaking loss to Jelena Ostapenko at the Linz Open, a 4-6, 5-7 defeat after leading 5-1 in the final set. But the Stuttgart Open has given her a fresh start. The field is stacked. 7 of the current top 10 players are competing, including world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka, number 2 Elena Rybakina, number 3 Coco Gauff, and number 4 Iga Swiatek. But Eala has faced top competition before. She has beaten Swiatek. She has pushed Gauff to the limit. She belongs on this stage. Eala has intensified her training for the clay season at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, preparing for the challenges ahead. The clay season stretches before her: Stuttgart, Madrid, Rome, and finally Roland Garros. The tournament director's welcome was more than just good PR. It was a signal that the tennis establishment is taking Eala seriously, not just as a rising star, but as a legitimate contender. What do you think about Eala's Stuttgart promotion? Can she make a deep run against this loaded field? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to Rally Radar now for daily WTA news, match breakdowns, and stories that go beyond the scoreline. Because at Rally Radar, every day is match day.